Hello friends, so happy to be back again with you with another astrological report. It's been an amazing journey since our last new moon celebration when I have the pleasure to be with you in my physical form, and I'm very excited again to be joining you this time from Massachusetts. Gonna be recording this video almost at the moment in which the moon is gonna be going into the void course, meaning she's gonna start deciding right now what are gonna be the full energies of the full moon in Virgo tomorrow Monday. So Virgo is a particular sign that is an earth sign ruled by Mercury, the planet of intelligence and communication. And this planet allows us to organize our thoughts, our mind, and our structure. It is a planet that likes a lot to serve others, work for others. More than a regular service of doing things is working for others. It is a sign that feels much more comfortable in the action field of organizing, creating a structure, and finding a way to organize and distribute the resources for everybody. Virgo Sounds is very meticulous and is very organized in the way that it creates its own reality. The good thing about this full moon is that it's not only just stationary right now in the Virgo sign, but it is also opposing the sun that just changed from sign from Aquarius into Pisces. So we are touching a new vortex of energy between Pisces and Virgo. Pisces is the dreamer, and Virgo is the organizer and the worker. Means that the dream of life, when people tell us, oh, you're living the dream meaning that we have been able to organize that dream to make it come into our reality. We have been tapped into the dream that happens in our mind, in our dreams, and we have been able to bring that into human reality through our work, through our day-to-day routine. Okay, with no waiting more details, I'm gonna go sign by sign. Don't forget that a full moon is a time of completion. It's not a time about renewing. It's a time more about celebrating where we are right now and allowing ourselves to really recognize those good things and things that we might need to work in each one of our areas. Let's start with the sign of Aries. Aries, this is a good time for you to really consider this time to do something good for your own physical body and your wellness. It is a great time either to take a massage, to take a healing treatment, or even if you have found that lately you haven't been taking care of yourself as much as you could, it is time for you to make corrections. Either correct your breakfast or correct your lunch or make any improvement in your day-to-day habits. It is the time to start getting a green smoothie or a green juice in the mornings. It is the time for you to do those 3 minutes or 5-minute meditations in the morning and in the afternoon. It is the time right now to start taking care and really fulfill your own wellness needs. It is time to work in your physical body, in your mental body, in your spiritual body with practices that allows you to call on to purity and pureness in the way that you act through your day to day. Second sign, we're gonna go to Taurus. This is a time for you, Taurus, to bring improvements in the way in which you create. If you are an artist, if you are a creator, if you enjoy talents and aesthetics and arts, it is a time to bring a little bit of organization. Means if you have a studio, clean it up. If you work on your room, clean it up. If you have a guitar that you have never used, clean it up, tune it up. Start working with the resources that you are so good working with, but in a way that feels pure and organized. It is time to allow that mess that was before in your life and in your creative behavior to take off and allow yourself to start creating from a place of much more organization. Clearness. If you do have a project that you haven't been able to achieve, this is the time to start organizing the way in which you can achieve this different project. It is the time for you to also Tap into your own clarity. Organize detail by detail. Very important for Virgo moons. Take care of the detail. But also be aware of not getting lost on the little details, and be aware of not getting lost in the judgment, in analyzing or overreacting toward each one of those little facts that you might need to start creating. Beautiful Geminis. This is a good time to celebrate the home that you do have. And by celebrating home means by doing something that feels good at home. Either it is also time for you to clean up your physical environment, like your kitchen, clean up your bathrooms, clean up the living room, organize the space in which you create, and allow yourself to have a space that you might be able to share with others so others can also work in their own issues. Gemini, it is time to allow this full moon to bring the energy of clarity and pureness in the way that you share with the world. Sometimes we wait a long period of time to share with others, to cook for others, to give them a nice message. We wait so long because we are all the time taking and digesting what other people are giving to us. This is time to set a balance in which how much do you share and how constantly do you share with others. It is a very good time also to check your home environments if there is not something that needs to be improved. Either you have to take care of that toilet or that leak that you have in the bathtub, something that you might need to fix on the physical environment. It is good time also just to check the way in which you are sharing your space with others. Cancer. Beautiful and excellent time to work in mindful communication, to work in conscious communication. Sometimes you, Cancer, love to share your emotions, and you share your emotions more than with words, with actions, with expressions. Either you go and touch somebody else, either you hug somebody else, and in that exchange of energy, you are allowing the other to tap into what you are feeling. This is the time to also bring those expressions to a more conscious way, knowing and understanding from which place are you really sharing that is living inside of you. If there are fears, if there is anger, if there is frustration, and you want to share it with the world, just first think why you want to share that with the other. And it is that person the correct one to actually create sympathy and empathy into what I'm living right now. Or is it the time for me to just step back, know that I can digest my own emotions, and knowing that probably there are people who are gonna be able to find that relation, that relating with me, and other people who are not ready. Because sometimes putting a lot of emotional imprints into other people who are not ready creates a lot of confusion, and people will not really get where you are at, not only emotionally, but in your moment. So it's about bringing purity and clarity to the way that you communicate your own emotions. Leo, good time to check your bank account and the resources. Also check how much are you spending and in which order are you allowing yourself to also save. Saving money is a great way to understand your projection, and you are a leader. You are the one who knows how to spend, how to move, where to invest. Probably in your family, or probably you are an example for others. This is a time for knowing how you are managing your resources in an organized way that can last through the whole year. It is a good time also to celebrate in the way that you have been creating those resources in your life. So this is a good time for gratitude prayer. It is a time for feeling good and fulfilled with all the blessings that have been coming into your life. But now, sometimes when we receive a blessing, all we want to do is to spend it right away. We want to just tell everybody how blessed we are, share all the resources with our people, but then we forget that those blessings sometimes are also designed or given to us so we can expand them or create something even bigger. So think about the little seed, that little gift that has been given to you. How can you take care of the gift? And then how can you also prolong, extend, expand that gift for a long period of time? Virgo. What a good time for Virgo, as you have the full moon on top of your sun sign. This is a time in which you are going to tap into your own psychic ability to perceive the needs of others, but also to perceive your own needs. Sometimes Virgo are all the time trying to help others in a blindfolded way. You are just giving and organizing and prioritizing others people's needs before yours. This full moon is calling you to set that awareness and that intention of knowing that in order for you to serve others, first you have to take care of yourselves by all means. Not only taking care of yourself and your physical wellness, but also in your emotional. You have to be very pure and very clean in order to serve others. This is the time for you to go and do a very good check-in, internal check-in of how things have been manifesting internally. So it is a good time for probably take a meditation of scanning your physical body and feel where it doesn't feel that comfortable. Where am I holding? Because don't forget that after a full moon, we are right now on top. All the waters are up. After the full moon, the moon starts contracting, going back into the new moon phase. In that contraction is when the waters are released. So this is a very good time for doing cleanses, internal, physical, spiritual cleanses, to allow you release all that you have been holding. Because if you want to give a great service, you first need to clean this, and the whole physical body. Libra. It is a good time to take these full moon energies for a moment of finding back again your balance. Full moons sometimes create a lot of expansion, but there is a moment to start reintegrating back those that are your gifts. Think that for this full moon you are being asked to find that center and that peace internally, allowing yourself to take a step out of all the commotion, of all the chaos. Meaning, if you are the one who goes to a party and everybody is screaming, celebrating, and releasing, you are gonna be the one who will step on aside, observe everything from the outside, and try to integrate the experience to yourself. Meaning, it is the time to retreat, to see from outside, and also come back into the own internal balance that you know how to synchronize. 12th time, Scorpio. Scorpio, it is a good time to celebrate that you have been doing now for others. This full moon is right on top of the 11th house, the house of community. The new moon starts in Aquarius, ruler of the 11th house, and for you in this time, the full moon finishes in that second house, in that 11th house where the moon starts. Meaning your call has been, again, how to find those gifts, how to find that strength that lives inside of you to go across all fears and give that as a service back into community. It is a good time for you to feel good of the service that you have been giving to yourself and to others, to allow and acknowledge yourself for the position that you have in community, either the position that you have as a helper, as a karma yogi, or as an organizer, or just as a participant. But just recognize that the place that you have right now in community is well appreciated for others. Stop thinking that you bring something negative or dramatic, because sometimes with the full moon, and mainly in a sign of Virgo, we become too judgmental and we become too strong in the way that we see ourselves through our actions. So it is a good time just to observe yourself from the outside perspective, but also to acknowledge and knowing that what you bring, your presence, how you can create radiance in a room, it is a gift. and that your story, no matter how painful it is bringing light to others as you have been coming out of the darkness like the phoenix. So it is also acknowledging that alchemy, that magic that you create in your life for now being someone in society that can help others and that can help them to reflect darkness. Sagittarius, great time to celebrate the service that you create in your community and to others, but also knowing that that service that you bring has to benefit your own professional life. Profession is just that path of organizing our abilities in order to ascend and progress. So our public life, it is asking us to allow ourselves to challenge those who are around us and to challenge ourselves with the different tasks that we are giving each other of the people who work with us, and to also give different tasks or things to accomplish to ourselves. This is not just the time to focus on something too expansive. It is time also to focus on the little details of your work. How are the little homeworks that you are letting yourself know about your next step helping you to really progress or to stay in the same place? Feel that these times are calling for careful and detailed organization in the way that you are planning to develop your career or to move into the next level of your career. Sometimes, Sagittarius, you move too fast and you want to get everything at once. Don't forget that what we want sometimes is not specifically what we need. So that's when allowing ourselves to choose what we really need, to take a time to see it from an outside perspective, help us to really have in our hands just what we need and not to be full hands in stuff that are no longer necessary. Clean up your career, clean up your choices, clean up your jobs if you have too many jobs. Know what is exactly what is benefiting you to progress and to advance. But take a look, organize yourself, see it with patience, slowly pace, and see what is around that you can clean up. Capricorn, sometimes when you want to achieve more and more in your ability to know things, and you want all the time to start progressing up into more and more knowledge, a full moon in Virgo allows you to understand that you already are enough. You are enough in what you know. You are enough in what you feel. You are enough where you are. It is the time to just see things with a little magnifying glass in order to understand that those seeds of knowledge that you have planted in yourself are ready to be used. Knowledge will never be the same knowledge unless that you add experience. So it is necessary for yourself to start mixing a little bit of the duality or the interaction between knowingness and experience. If you have just been recollecting a lot of knowledge, it is time for you to jump and start practicing. Sometimes we become too much on the intellectual side of the theory, but then when we call on to experience, we really know where we are with that knowledge. Be mindful and careful about the work that you are doing for yourself and others, mainly if you are in a job in which you take care or you have responsibility of a team, and also if you are right now having responsibility with your own studies, meaning you have to organize the way in which you are distributing also that time to learn and to experience. Don't get caught up so much on the intellect and allow the experiencing time to also have time in your life. Create hours of experience, of dynamic workshops in which you allow yourself to practice. Aquarius, so interesting as this new moon cycle starts on your sign and now it ends on your house of intimacy and deeper connection with yourselves and with others. Aquarius, this is a very good time to see and check what kind of people you have around you and who do you want to really go deep into any circumstance. Sometimes, these times of full moon in a Mercurian sign like Virgo creates a little bit of neurosis. Our emotions are all up and down. The way in which we analyze all the emotions are up and down. We really don't know exactly where we are at in the way that we can understand what we are going through. It is good time for you to just have time to connect first with yourself. And connect to your higher self. It means not connect to the critical voice, but connect to that soul that is transparent, that is truth, that is allowing you to feel back the universe inside of you. Once you are feeling the universe inside of you, from that you can project, because the projection from the universal being is different than the projection from the ego, insecure self. You need to start tapping so deep into yourself that you can reconnect to spirit. You can reconnect to the source, instead of allowing yourself to try to reconnect to source from a cloud of judgment or fear about your own self. So take this time really to be very particularly organized in the way that you start establishing your connection deep with yourself. That can either be by analyzing your dreams, that can be also by just doing exercises in front of a mirror, or just to having some time by your own, hearing your favorite music, and just checking what is internally flowing through. When you dedicate time for yourself, there is going to be at ease in the way that you will see the things that you might need to relate better with. Relate better with the voice that lives inside of you, that you know that is constant in a state of meditation, and not the voice that is trying to create the alterations of the mind. Last sign, Pisces, great time for you to check and to value. What are you giving and what are you receiving from your partnership of your love life? If you are right now in a partnership, Pisces, this is a great time just to really know that you also have to take care of the relationship as the relationship has been taking care of you. It is time also to work for the relationship as the relationship has been working for you. It is just a time to examine the earth element of your relationship. What you are sharing. How much money are you bringing into the relationship? How much steady pace? How much work are you bringing into the relationship? How much consistency are you bringing into the relationship? How much discipline are you bringing into the relationship? There needs to be a showing up over and over and over again for relationships, because sometimes we just allow the relationship to take its own turn and its own energy and govern us, rule us, and we forget that we are co-creating a relationship. If you are not in a relationship, this is a good time for you, as the sun just entered into your sign, to start dreaming about the ideal relationship where you would like to get yourself involved. It is the time to start calling into the way in which you can organize the earth so it is ready to receive the seeds of love. You can just clean up, pour out some water, let the sun shine, or be on top of your own earth to prepare yourself to start growing together through service. Don't forget that Virgo moon, and this is for all signs, talks a lot about service, but the service that comes from our work. How can we allow ourselves to be in a position to give to others what we have already understand? When we work through service, we cannot offer anything that we don't have. The only thing we can share is what we already got it, what we already have worked through. Sometimes in these spiritual times, we talk too much about things that have been the experience of others, and we forget that the truth experience is ours. That is the true invitation of a full moon cycle from Aquarius into Virgo, to know and understand that the gifts of our own process must be shared once they are in a place of truth, They are in a place of awareness, of consciousness, of recognition. When it is still something cloudy, disorganized, when we still don't own the wisdom of the experience and the knowledge together, it is a good time to still keep integrating. The service that we are going to bring to others from that pure side, it is what resonates for truth. It is what resonates as truth for us. It is what resonates as our own unique experience or perception and even projection about the world that we are going to be able to share with the world. I really send you a lot of love and good energy for this full moon ceremony party. As I have seen that right now you're also going to do the movement, and I know that you're also going to right now allow these energies to be inside and outside of your bodies. And I also invite all of you to keep following the moon day by day, just to see, write down something that this moon, there are so many messages in the moon. Probably you guys heard all these new recordings of music that some astronauts brought whenever they came back from transiting the backside of the moon. The moon is always sending signs. It's our mother. She is always sending some love letters, nourishing letters for us to know where we are and what do we have to take care of. Sending you a lot of love, and really keep enjoying, keep feeling, keep expressing, keep learning. And I'm here available. Write me, get my contact through Ron or through Michael, and I'll be super happy to be in touch with you. Sending you a lot of love. Satnam.